everybody, this is Dave Walsh, host of Card Talk, and we are back at the Dream Chaser campaign, and this is the third scenario. This is Raid on the Grey Havens, and the difficulty ramps up. This is a challenging scenario, so hopefully my Silvans are up for it. So you can see I am pretty much set up to go, but I think we should we'll take a minute and we'll look at the quest cards, campaign cards, what cards are in my hand, and we can go from there. So in my hand I have two allies. I have the Woodland Courier, which I think was a good addition to my hand after playing the Angmar Awaken campaign. And then I have my healing Sylvan Tracker, which is very good and beefy, and that's a good find. Attachments, I end up with Nenya, which is great. The Ring of Power for Galadriel, love that. And then the Elven King, that's going to probably go on to Thranduil for an extra defense, but who knows? It may go on to Celeborn for questing and then attacking. And then we have Quicker Than Sight that allows me to get rid of a shadow card, which is nice. And then we have Test of Will. So that's what we got in my hand. Okay, the first quest card is the Corsairs Assault. In this case, the Corsairs have made their way up to the Grey Havens, and they're going to try to set all my ships on fire. Not my ships, but the ships in the Grey Havens on fire. So we're going to be running around putting out fires, which is kind of like adulting, but these will be fires, like actual fires, not situational fires. And so it says set Captain Sahir and Nasia aside out of play. When they come into play, we'll take a look at them. It says add the Havens Burn, the Dream Chaser, and one copy of Sahir's Ravager to the staging area. So let's take a look at those things. So the Dream Chaser there on the left says Aflame 12. It's immune to player card effects. It says the players cannot travel to the Dream Chaser. So this thing is going to always contribute 2 threat to the staging area. And the threat, even though it's the Dream Chaser, it's threat because it's on fire. So we're going to have to make sure that we limit the amount of fire that's going on there. And then the Havens Burn is an objective card. It says when the card is placed underneath the Havens Burn, reveal the top card of the encounter deck. And then it says if there are X or more cards underneath the Havens Burn, the Corsairs have destroyed the Elven fleet and the players lose the game. X is 3 more than the number of players in the game. So X is 4 in this case. So when you add Aflame tokens to the locations, then if they reach their Aflame value, then they get placed under the Havens Burn. So the point is to try to explore locations before they burn up. Then Sahir's Ravager is a Corsair Raider, and it says after it attacks, place 1 resource on it, then deal X damage to the Aflame location in play with the lowest Aflame value, where X is the number of resources on Sahir's Ravager. So this guy is annoying. He's not like a hill troll, but he is a mid-level enemy and has a kind of annoying forced effect. And then it says shuffle the encounter deck and discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until X locations with the Aflame keyword are discarded, where X is the number of players in the game. Okay, so we get Burning Piers. It says Burning Piers gets +1 threat for each damage on it. And it says when Burning Piers is placed underneath the Haven Burns, deal 3 damage to the Dream Chaser. Then it says shuffle the encounter discard pile back into the encounter deck. At the end of combat phase, the forced effect deals X damage to the Aflame location in play with lowest Aflame value. X is the number of Corsair enemies in play. And as some of you have noticed, I've been playing with the One Ring, and the One Ring is restricted and it's immune to non-master card effects. So that's the way it works. And it says attached to a hero, search your deck for a master card. So the master card that I am choosing is Inner Strength. That's the only one in my deck. I don't have any of the other ones in my deck, and I get +1 +1 defense, and I get to cancel shadow effects. So that's going to help out a ton. The Raid of the Grey Havens campaign card says you are playing campaign mode, and it says the first player takes control of Calphon and attaches Spyglass and Black Key Boon to him. So there's Calphon and the Spyglass. Calphon just says exhaust Calphon to look at a bottom card of your deck. Then you can switch that card with a card in your hand. Gives me some ways to kind of scry through my own deck. And then the Spyglass just allows me to look at a shadow card or look at the top and bottom card of my deck, or place 1 progress on a location. So that's going to help me a bunch. And I don't have it upgraded, so it's just the way that that's going to be. And then the Black Key, which also goes on Calphon, just gives him +1/+1/+1. I don't know exactly if that's going to go on somebody else or eventually, or where that's going to go, but I don't know. We'll see. It says shuffle Grexar into the encounter deck. I already did that. And then it says each player may choose 1 copy of Galdor's Counsel and add it to their hand. For this game, increase the value of X on each of those copies by 1. Okay, so I already upgraded this thing to the max, so that's going to be good. So I had to pick the leadership or the spirit one. So I picked the leadership one, and the leadership one says add X resources to any hero's resource pool. X is half the level of Galdor's Counsel, rounded up. Add Galdor's Counsel to the victory display. So I was able to upgrade this thing completely during at the end of last game, and so that means that right now X is not X. It's level 4. So, and then I get an extra level, so that's 5. Divided by 2 is 2.5. Rounded up is 3. So I get, this is 0 cost for 3 resources. It's pretty nice. Okay, and then it says after stage 2B is revealed, so I'm going to have to remind myself that 2B is there. It says remove Calphon and each attachment on him from the game, ignoring his leaves play ability. The back has a resolution with a whole bunch of checklists, just like the last scenarios, but I'm not going to even try to do this. This is a very hard scenario, so I'm not using it as a checklist like I have. I guess let's get started. The Haven's Burn is here. This is objective, and I'll put my active location. This is never below it, and this is never going to leave the staging area, so that's there. And then the Burning Piers is here, and then the Ravager is there. So my total threat in the staging area is 6. Okay, so I get some resources. Okay, I have a lot of 1-cost things in my hand. Okay, so I'm going to draw. And I get a... That's great. So it's a Feign Voices. I get to cancel an attack. So I think the thing to do is to first play Galdor's Counsel. Okay, so I'm going to put the campaign card here. Move my deck, put this, okay. I'm going to put it onto any hero, so it's got to go here. So I'm going to put that there. Okay. I'm going to put this onto Galadriel. I'm going to spend the 1 here. Okay. So I like to keep tokens over here on the side. And then I'll bring out the Woodland Courier for 2. And that allows me to put some that there. I think I will play Inner Strength onto Thranduil. Okay. Good. And now I can still do lots of things. Okay. Now, the ruling is that Galadriel, this guy doesn't exhaust a quest because this is the round. During setup, her effect continues on into the round. So Calphon here, questing for 2, doesn't exhaust a quest. So that's nice. Okay. So somehow I have to get up to 6, hopefully, which I don't think is going to be tough. But let's see here: 2, 4, 2, 4. I guess I could do 7. Let's see, 2, 4, without trying. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, before I quest, I'm going to play the Elven King for 1. And I'm going to play it onto Celeborn, because I think I'm going to want his willpower and his attack. So I'm going to do this. Okay, so now I'm questing for 7. I'm going to try to leave Galadriel up if I can, just because I want to use her ability to draw and lower my willpower. Okay, so now we will. So I'm questing for 7. So let's see what we get. We get the white ship. So let's take a look at that. That's a shame. So the white ship is Aflame 4, and it says for the travel, it says search the encounter deck and discard pile for a corsair enemy and add it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck, and then when the ship is placed underneath the Haven's Burn, place 1 resource on each raider enemy in play. So this is yucky, and it's got 4 threat. Okay, so I have 10 in the staging area. So I quested for 7. So I'm going to use Galadriel and Nenya. It was worth a shot, right? Okay, so with Galadriel and Nenya, I am able to get up to 11. So that's 1 on the current quest. I do not want to travel here. I know that sounds stupid, but I don't. Okay. So I guess I travel here. Okay. And now I'm going to engage this guy. Okay. Deal a shadow card. But I'm just going to defend here and let's see. No shadow. So that's the best. Okay, and so now I'm going to do 2, 4, and that does a damage. And that does a damage to this guy. Okay, so I have to do a damage here because of the quest card effect. And now we're ready to move along. And I'm going to, before the end of the round, I'm going to exhaust the spyglass to put 1 progress on a location. I get unexpected courage, which is pretty good here. So I'm going to put unexpected courage onto Galadriel. So that allows me to exhaust her, lower my threat by 1, and draw a card. And I get the Tree People, which is a phenomenal card. So I'm going to use the Tree People right now, actually. Okay. So I will bring the Courier back into my hand. And I guess I will bring out the Handmaiden. Actually, I need some attack boost, so I'm going to bring out the Greenwood Archer. But now I can't cancel I didn't show you what the Tree People does. I didn't put it under the camera. But the Tree People allows me to bring a Sylvan ally into my hand and then search the top 5 cards in my deck for another Sylvan ally and put it into play. So now I'm questing for 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm going to do 3. And am I going to do 3? Right now there's 6 in the staging area. 3. Okay. And then 6 in the staging area, and then Galadriel afterwards. Helps if I just use the right side of the black key too. Okay. I'll do 6. So we're even up. Let's see what I get. Okay, we have a Corsair Arsonist that says either deal 2 damage to an Aflame location in play or search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Aflame location with the highest Aflame and add it to the staging area. I think I'm just going to do 2 damage to an Aflame location in play. So I'm going to put the Aflame onto the Burning Piers. So, and then let's see, 6. I did 8. And then I'm going to use Galadriel with Nenya, and that gives me 10. So that gives me 2 extra, and that gets rid of this. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. Okay, so this is gone. Okay. This is going to end up with a lot of Aflame on it if I'm not careful. And I can't quite get to where I need to get to here. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use, well, let's do this. I'm going to, I have to take this guy. Okay, well, that is what it is, right? Okay. So we'll do 1, 2. I will defend this here with this guy. No shadow effect. So that guy's done. Okay, and now 2 damage. Let's see, where am I going to take 2? How am I going to defend 2? I think I will defend 2 undefended. It says add Burning Piers to the staging area. Okay, that's sad. Okay, and then I have to take 2 damage, 2 undefended damage. So I'll put the undefended damage onto Celeborn. Okay, and then I'm going to spend 2 to bring out the Woodland Courier. Okay, that allows me to put a damage here. I'm going to also exhaust the Spyglass to put another here. So, whew. And let's see, 3, 5. Okay, so I'm going to do 3, 5. If I pull 1 back, I can't do anything, and I don't have a way to do anything. So 5, so that kills this guy. Okay, which is so this should already be done. Let me make sure that I do this correctly here. Okay, so this guy attacked, and so because he attacked the first time, he gets this, and then I have to do a damage to an Aflame location. Okay, which I do. And then he attacks again, this time, and I defended, but he has to do 2 damage to an Aflame location, which is now the white ship. So Aflame for this guy goes underneath the Haven's Burn. I lost a white ship. And when he does, he gets... I get another resource on a raider enemy. Okay. Now, knowing that, what I should have done was put a location here. A progress there from the white, from the Spyglass Helps if I use the right side of the spyglass. And then from the woodland courier, I wouldn't have wasted it on the weight ship. Okay, and then I have to put another another one of these here. So, whew, that is wild. Right, because of the weight ship. Okay, and then it says at the end of the combat phase, I put a damage. I put in a flame marker on one of the things. Let's see. I know that I should have two here. I don't know if this is good or bad or whatever, but next round I get Legolas. So let's take a look at Legolas. So Legolas is ranged, and it says after Legolas participates in an attack that destroys an enemy, deal 1 card. So I need some sort of resource something or other here to get Legolas out. Use Galadriel's ability to lower my threat. I haven't raised my threat yet, so that's good. And then I get a Marksman of Lorien, which is exactly what I need to kill this thing. So I'm not going to bring anybody into play, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the spyglass. And I get to exhaust the spyglass to put a progress here. So, okay. Now, the problem with that is that if something comes out and I have to do damage to an Aflame location, it has to go onto that. But, is what it is. So that's 2. So look, I'm going to do 2. I'm going to quest for 2, I guess. Okay. And I'm going to already use Nenya and Galadriel because I've already used her ability. So I'm up to 6. I still have a Test of Will in my hand. I still have things that I can do to get rid of stuff. And I get this. Let's take a look. It says the fires spread. Doom 2. It says deal 1 damage to each Aflame location in play. Then if less than 3 total damage is dealt, gain surge. So I am actually going to Test of Will that because I don't want the surge. Okay, I'm just about to get this under control a little bit. So okay, so I raised my threat. It's 31, and now let's see, 6. So we can do 4. So that's 3, 4, and now we can deal this shadow card. And I'm going to play Feigned Voices. Feigned Voices allows me to cancel an attack by returning a Silvan into my hand. And I'm going to choose, I guess, the Woodland Courier. And the reason why that does is I don't want it, the damage, I don't want to say after it attacks. So this cancels the attack, and that means that it doesn't do, I don't have to worry about doing the extra damage. Let's see, 2, 4, 5. That's not enough. Do a thing here. So what if I bring out the Sylvan Tracker? I need to do 7 to kill it. 7's kind of like the magic number. So I think I can do 7. I'll do 2, 4, 6, 7, and that kills this. And that allows me to bring out the Tracker. So now I have my healing out. And this guy is dead skis. Okay, there's like 12 Sahir's Ravagers in the deck, so that's that's the thing. So this is good. And now with Galadriel's ability, I don't have to raise my threat, but I'll draw a card, and I get another copy of the Elven King, which is dumb, and then I will draw her card out, and I get a Lorien Guide, which is great. Location control. Okay, so I'll do this. I'm going to exhaust Kalfan to look at the bottom card of my deck. And the bottom card of my deck is Ancestral Armor, which is phenomenal. that's going to go on to Thranduil. And I get to then keep it in my hand, and I'm going to exchange it for the Elven King. That's one of the things that Calfon's ability does. I don't think this is like the last scenario where I have to worry about something costing 2 or whatever stupidness that was. Okay, so now I get to quest. So I'm going to quest for just 1. And then, of course, I will use Galadriel because I've already used her ability, so I can't do anything more. So that's, I guess it's just, I guess I'm just doing 5 versus 2. And I get a Umbar Raider, so we'll take a look at what this guy does. Okay, so the Umbar Raider gets +1 attack for each resource on it, and says after Umbar Raider attacks you, move 1 resource from one of your heroes' encounters pool to the Umbar Raider. Okay, so this is going to make me not happy, but we'll do what we can. So there's 4 in the staging area, so I did an extra one. That's 6 versus 18. Okay, so the thing is I don't want any more bad guys to have to deal with this. So now, let's see, no travel, don't have to worry about that. This guy comes down, and it says after Umbar Raider gets +1 for each resource on it, and it says after attacks you, so it's got to attack first. So I'm going to deal it a shadow card. Okay, and then let's see. So now here's the thing, there's an action window right here. So if I take and I bring out the Marksman of Lorien, which is a great ally to bring out right now because it'll decrease his defense by 2 and increase attack by 1 because of Celeborn. Now that gets rid of all my resources and doesn't give any. I'm not able to give any to this guy. Okay. So now I will defend. There is a shadow effect. It says attacking +1 for each damage token on the active location. There's no damage. There's no active location. So Thranduil is healthy and set, and this guy attacks and kills this guy all by himself. Okay. So we will ready. Okay, draw a card. I get another Sylvan Tracker. So twins here. Okay, and then my second card is the Nath Guide, which is a great card to see. Okay, so I'm going to take and put my ranged army kind of over here. Okay, and you'll probably know why that's coming, or at least I hope. This is Calfon. This glare here is Calfon. It's hard to see, but it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to spend 2 and bring out the Nath Guide. And the Nath Guide is going to, I think I want to start making progress through this now. So the Nath Guide is going to target Celeborn. There's 2 in the staging area. So I'm going to do, that's 5 already. Okay. 5. I don't want to like YOLO quest, but let's see, 6. I'll do 10. And we get a raid leader. Let's take a look at the raid leader. Okay, so raid leader gets +1 for each resource on it, and it says when raid leader engages you, move 1 resource from each of your hero's resource pools to raid leader. Okay, so that's crazy, but it's 3 threat. And it has a high engagement cost, so we can kind of mess around with whether we want to take this guy or not. So there's 5, and I did 10. So look, there's 11 here. And I don't think that I am going to engage this guy. I am going to end the round and move along here. Okay, the first card I get is a Host of the Galathrim. It's great. And then the second card I get is another Quicker Than Sight to cancel a shadow effect. Okay, so now I'm at my magical limit of 4 resources. So that means hopefully I can bring out Legolas this round. This scenario can turn sideways really quick. So I just want to be careful. So look, I'm going to do 2, 3, I guess, 4. So that's 4. And then Galadriel pushes me to 8. 8 versus 5. So far so good. And I get Ominous Fate. Okay, so it's Surge, can't be canceled. It says each player must reveal an encounter card, raise the threat by X, or deal X damage divided among characters they control. X is the campaign card's part number. I have the Sylvan tracker out, so it's almost cheating. And then I can move it to the victory display. But I'm not going to, because I think that one of the resolutions is you get -1 XP if Ominous Fate is in the victory display. But it gets Surge. And this is the Elven Caravel. And it's Aflame 4. It says each player must assign damage among characters he controls equal to the amount of damage on the Elven Caravel. When it's placed underneath the Haven's Burn, deal 1 damage to each character in play. Okay, one of the things that I forgot to do was to put in a flame counter last round because of this guy. But now we will do this. Okay, we will travel here. I'm even up on willpower versus threat, 8. So we will travel here. Each player must assign damage. There's no damage on this, so that's okay. Okay, I'm going to leave this guy up here because I don't want to lose the resources. And I put the damage onto some characters here. So let's see. I'm going to play Legolas for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 during the combat. Even though there's no combat, I'm going to put it and I still get to put him there. Okay. So it's good. So now we're ready. I'll draw 1 card. I get an Unexpected Courage. That's good. And then I get Asphalloth. Wow, this is the first time I added Asphalloth to this deck just to add 1 like little fun thing for more location control. So it's not supposed to be a location control deck, but that's what it's kind of fun here. Okay, I had to put this at the end of combat. Let's figure this out now. Let's quest. So 1, 2, 4, 7. I'll quest for 7. Why not, right? Okay. So let's see what we get. And I get Corsair Infiltrator. I don't like this guy. Okay, it says when the Infiltrator attacks, deal 1 additional shadow card for each resource on it. And then it says after the engaged player collects resources at the beginning of the resource phase, that player moves 1 resource to the Corsair Infiltrator. So stealing resources, yuck, yuck. Okay, so that's 7 in the staging area, and I'm going to exhaust Galadriel with Nenya. That's going to be good. Okay, and that gives me 11. So that gives me 4. Okay, to put here. And I can also use the Spyglass. I'm going to wait, actually. I'm going to wait because I want to put another Aflame counter on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage this guy. He doesn't have any resources on him. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to exhaust Thranduil to defend. Okay, so that's going to be 4 versus 3. And if I need to, I can get rid of the shadow effect. It says if the active location has the flame keyword, either deal it 3 damage or deal the defending player character 1 damage. Well, that's easy. I'm just going to deal. I'm not even going to worry about canceling it, raising my threat or whatever. Okay, so now I can do 3, 6, and that kills this thing, which is what I want to do. Legolas allows me to draw a card, which gives me another Marksman of Lorien, which is good timing for that. And now I am going to, at the end of combat, deal X damage to the lowest Aflame. So I'm going to do this. And now I'm going to, during, I guess, the wreaths, I don't know. I'm just going to do this to get rid of this location. I'm going to just assume that the spyglass is going to have to stay exhausted, because that's, I guess, a good assumption. Because I'm doing this because this happens at the end of the combat, and so there's an action window at the end of combat, but I'm going to assume that the forced effect, this action has to happen before the forced effect. Okay, so I'm going to draw 1 card, and I get an island amid perils. Okay, threat reduction. And the second card is Orphan. I don't have anything that I want to grab out of there, but okay, so now let's do a thing. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take Asphalloth, and I am going to put Asphalloth onto Galadriel. Okay. And now I'm going to take Ancestral Armor. I'm going to put that onto Thranduil. At some point, I'm going to have to get an Unexpected Courage onto Thranduil, which I have in my hand, but I need to get it on him. But now I can defend all sorts of things, and that's kind of what I want to do. Okay. So there's 5 in the staging area. I'm going to quest for 2, 4. Let's do 7. So I'm questing for 7. Eventually that'll be up to 11. Let's see what we get. Okay, let's look at Battle Hardened. First of all, look at that art. MJ did an amazing job when she was doing this. I mean, I know it's the artist, but there must be a vision in her head that just made this amazing. Anyways, it says place 1 resource on each raider enemy in play. Each engaged non-ship enemy makes an immediate attack. If there are no engaged non-ship enemies, Battle Hardened gains Surge. Okay, and we get another Sahir's Ravager. I get to put 1 resource here, but this guy wasn't out when this was in play, I think. Okay. I'm pretty sure this guy I had to. Oh, I did it to that, right? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to engage this guy. Okay. I only have to engage the 1. This guy's going to stay up there. Okay. So I will defend here. I'm defending for 6 now, and I can cancel a shadow. It says, give it a thing, and then it says where X's deal damage to the Aflame location. So I will deal another damage here. Got to manage this. We're at 4. Okay. This is Aflame 12. So, okay. Graxar. And now I'm going to attack. So that's 3, 6, 8. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to, let's see. I forgot to resolve questing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there was 8, so that's 3 more. Okay, because this was part of it. Okay, good. Okay, so these guys kill this thing. This guy is dead. Okay. Next round, I would like to deal with this guy. Okay. provided that I don't have any resources. I was going to do that this round, but it's fine. Okay, well, look, we have, I'm going to change this up here. Okay, we will ready. Legolas participated in an attack that killed something, so I get another Lorien guide. Let me do 1, 2, 3. Okay, then I get my normal card, which is a Silvan Greenwood Archer right here. And then I get my extra card for Galadriel. I don't raise my threat. Let's see. 11, 12, 13, 14. So I will bring out the Greenwood Archer. Spend 2. And then, let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3, 5. There's 5 here. And how much more do I need here? I probably need a little bit more. So I'm going to do this 8. Okay. 8 versus 5. And then I don't think there's anything. This will be the time that I find out, right? I don't think there's anything that does damage to exhausted characters in this quest. Maybe there is, but okay. So we're up to 12. 12 versus 5. And we get the pillaged ship. Okay, the pillaged ship says either deal when revealed, either deal 3 damage to pillaged ship or add the topmost enemy in the encounter discard pile to the staging area. Okay, so I think I'm going to do 3 damage to the pillaged ship. That sounds silly, but I don't want to have to deal with the extra corsairs, and this is the time. Okay, so 7 versus 12. So I think that gets me through this. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Before I forget, we are on Sahir's advance, but I want to remind you, it says, after stage 2B is revealed, remove Kalfan and all his stuff. So I have to remove Kalfan. Okay, which I guess it is what it is. It says, add Nasia and Sahir to the staging area. Enemy side face up. Captain Sahir engages the first player. For each point of damage, Captain Sahir would discard 1 resource from him and cancel that damage. It says after Captain Sahir attacks, place 2 resource tokens on him. 4 instead if this attack destroyed a character. Okay, and it says Nasia engages the last player. When Nasia engages you, discard each event in your hand. Add 1 resource to Nasia for each event discarded this way. Okay. It says when Nasia attacks or defends, she gets +1 attack, +1 defense for this attack for each resource on her. Then the attack discard 1 resource from her. It says place resources both equal to the amount of damage on the Dream Chaser. Add 1 resource to each other enemy in place. So right now there are 5. Each raider enemy revealed by the encounter deck enters play with 1 resource token on it. Anytime players would place progress on this quest, remove an equal amount of damage from location in play. Instead, progress placed on the active location before triggering this effect. So we have to clear off a little bit of stuff here. So I'm going to travel to the pillaged ship. Let me get rid of this here. Okay, pillaged ship. Okay, I can exhaust her, or Asphalot, to put a some of this here. And now these 2 guys are going to engage me. So I now have to discard events in my hand. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 events. So Nasia gets, she's got a ton. Okay. Okay. So Nasia is engaged with me. I may leave this guy up here. Okay, let's deal shadow cards. 1, 2. Okay, I'll defend here with Thranduil. And there's no shadow effect. Thranduil is defending for 6, so no damage here. Okay. Okay, after he attacks, he gets 2 resources, so I need to do a whole bunch to kill him. Okay, which I can probably do. And now Nasia is attacking me for, let's see, 11. So I better chump her. So I'll chump her here. Okay, so let's see. No shadow. My Greenwood Archer dies. Okay. Whew. Okay. So, and we remove that. And 10, 14. Do I have 14 to kill her with? I can ready Celeborn by bringing this guy back into my hand. Okay, so readying Celeborn, what does that do? That gives me a little bit extra. Let's see. So 2, 5, 8, 10. So it's gonna, I did 7. So that does 1 damage to Sahir. Okay. Woohoo. So end of round. Okay, so I get to draw 1 for my regular card, and it's a Minstrel. Yay. And then I get to draw 1 for Galadriel. Don't have to worry about my threat. I get a Steward of Gondor. So I'm going to lower my threat, or I get to play that. I'm going to play that immediately. Okay, so that's kind of, I should have waited around before I did any of this stuff, but let's see. I'm going to play 2, pay 2 to put the Nath Guide into play. And with the Nath Guide, I'm going to target Celeborn. Then I'm going to spend this 2 to do this, and then this is for Thranduil. So Thranduil can defend twice now, which is what I wanted. And then I'm going to do 1 to put that there. Okay. Okay, so 2, 5. How much is in there? There's 5 in the staging area right now. 5. Okay. And then 9. And I get a pillaged ship. Deal 3 damage to pillaged ship or add the topmost enemy. So I'm going to do 3 damage to the pillaged ship again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 2, 7. Right? And I did 9, which is exactly enough for me to get through this. Okay. So this is good. Now I travel here. I already did my damage. Okay. I'm going to leave this guy in the staging area. And now we do... Okay. Attacking for 10. I don't know if it's going to help, but here. We will defend here for a ton, and that gives him 2. And let's see. Shadow effect. If the active location has the Aflame keyword, that says either deal it 3 damage or deal the defending character 1 damage. I'll deal Thranduil 1 damage. Okay. And then I will defend Nasia with this. It says if the attacking enemy is a raider, discard a card at random from your hand and place 1 resource on the attacking enemy. Okay, so I'll put the resource on the attacking enemy. It's a bummer. And then discard a card at random. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the card at random is Orphan, which is a bummer because I wanted to use Orphan to be able to do some stuff. So, but whatever. Goes back. And now, let's see. I can do. I need to be able to do 2, 6, 8. So that's going to be 3. Oh, this was an attack, so I get to lose that. So 3, 6, 8. And that kills Sahir, which is nice. I don't have to worry about his. So I'll put this in the victory display. Sahir comes over here. So now I just have to worry about her. I don't actually have to worry about her. I just need to kill Sahir, which I did. And so now I just need to clear off the locations. Okay, and then, but for her, I will, look, I'll do 1, 2. I don't do any damage, but that allows me to heal Thranduil with this. Oh, I can do 4, but that still doesn't allow me to do anything. So, okay. Legolas was able to kill Sahir, so I get a minstrel. Okay, I get my normal card, which is an island amid perils, and then I get my Galadriel card, which is Galleon, which I'll put into play right here. Good, perfect. Okay. I forgot that the Steward of Gondor goes on to Galadriel in this game, or in this deck, the way that it's configured. Well, whatever. Okay. Now let's see. What do I have in here? I just have all lore and. Okay, so Asphalloth gives me this, and in the staging area is 5. So 2, and then I'll do this for 5, and then Galadriel for 4 more. So my hope is that I get through. So I'm at 9. So what do we get? We get the Fire Spread, which is, we already did this. Okay. So Doom 2, and it says deal 1 damage to each Aflame location in play. If less than 3, which there are, then we have to, we get Surge. And so now we get an Arsonist. Okay. So it says either deal 2 damage to an Aflame location in play or search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Aflame location with the highest Aflame value and add it. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put 2 on here because I'm going to be able to start removing that stuff. Oh, and this guy gets one of those. Okay, so 7 versus 9, right? So that gives me 2. So 3 total here. Okay, so I better hope that I don't have to do anything aflamey here. Okay. So I have 33. So I have to engage this guy. This is okay. Deal shadow. Let's see. 1, 2. Okay. And then I will defend. let's see, Nasia's 10. I can cancel a shadow effect. Okay, so I'll do what I can here. And no shadow. I do 4 damage to Thranduil, but he's got this. He's got the armor, which is nice. So I will ready. I will defend him again with him again. That'll be this guy. There is a shadow. It says attacking +1 for each damage token on the active location. I'm going to raise my threat by 1 and cancel that shadow effect. Okay. I am going to now play 1, 2, 3 here. And I'm going to bring in another marksman of Lorien. And I'm going to reduce her defense by 2. Oh, she made an attack. So she's gone from... So this is going to be, let's see, 7. So that's 9. So that's 9, but that's -2 is 7. So 7 defense. So I need to do 7 plus 5. I need to do 11. So that's going to be 4, 7, 10, 11. And that kills Nasia. Okay. Good luck. Goodbye. Okay. And it says, for this guy, I can pull Galleon back into my hand, and I can ready Celeborn. Now I can do 2, 4, and I can kill this guy. Whew. Okay. So far, so good. And I was able to participate in an attack that destroys something, so I get another copy of Nenya. That's not helpful. Okay, let's ready everything. So now I'm going to draw 1 card. Here I get a Tree People, which is phenomenal. And then I get Rumil, which is even better. Okay, great. I'm going to put down Galleon. So Galleon allows me to play the Tree People. I'll bring Galleon back into my hand. Look at 5, and hopefully this transfers into something a little more exciting here. And Neath Guide. Okay, now bring Galleon back out into play. And now I can bring out a Woodland Courier. And the Woodland Courier is going to do to this, is going to put a progress here. This guy goes bye-bye. But okay, so I'm going to do 3. I want to start clearing this off. If I can get this down, actually, that's what I have to do. There's 5 here. So I'm going to do, with the Neath Guide, I'm going to target Thranduil. Okay, so that's 1, 3, 6, 8, 10. So that's 10, 11, and then 2 more, that's 15. 15, 4 more. So 1, 5, 8, 9, 11, 15. 15 versus 5. Okay, let's see what we get. We get another raid leader. So that's raid leader for 3. That's 8. So that's 7. So I get to remove this here. So 7. So here's what I'm going to do. I will bring out Rumil no matter what here. Rumil doesn't help me other than it gets me to be able to quest a little bit more because he's got 2 willpower. Okay. So I don't even get to heal this guy. Bummer. Yeah. Okay. So I'm leaving this in the staging area. Okay. Next round. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Elven King to bring him back ready. So draw a card. I get a Feigned Voices. Second card for Galadriel, and I get Hanemarth River Song. 1, 2, 3. 1. I'm going to bring out Galleon, and I'm going to bring out Hanemarth. I'm going to use Hanemarth to see what the top card of the deck is, and it is Battle Hardened. Okay, so that's going to get us surged. Questing. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 10, 14. So I'm at 14 versus 8. And it said, this is when revealed, place 1 resource on each raider enemy in play. Okay, there's 2 raiders in play. 1, 2. And each engaged non-ship enemy makes an immediate attack. If there's no engaged non-ship enemies, gain surge. Okay. And I get a corsair. So this guy comes into play, gets a resource. Boom. Okay, and then there's 2. So there's 8 in the staging area. And I'm able to remove this. And so now I don't have any damage on any quest, so I think I managed the quest card. Let's see. So here's in the victory display, and each location has no damage. So let's see what the resolution is. I didn't do a ton on here, but let's take a look. It says if Graxar is in the victory display, choose either Parrying Cutlass or Throwing Axe and add it to the campaign pool, and record which hero you attach it to. I did not get Graxar, so that's a shame. And it says add the copies of Galdor's Council chosen during setup to the campaign pool. And it says gain the following: 1 XP for each surviving player. Okay, that's good. Boom. And it says 1 XP if 2 or fewer cards are underneath the Haven Burn. Okay, I get 1. Okay, that's good. And then it says 1 XP for each Elven Wave Runner in the victory display. I don't have any of those. I get 1 for Nasia being in the victory display. That's good. And then it says 1 XP if no enemies are in play. 1 XP for player's threat below. Okay, so my threat is below 40. Okay, but I didn't have Ominous Fate. Okay, so I get 4. Plus I have 1 extra one, so I get to choose what I want to spend 5 on. And I don't have the Parrying Cutlass or the Throwing Axe. So I'm going to just save my 5 resources and see I can use them at the beginning. I know that I said at the end my first scenario, I said that I would probably pick at the end, and I'm going to wait until I set up, actually. I'm going to go back on my little promise because I haven't played this enough to know exactly what I need to do. So I'm going to wait till I set up, and then I'm going to spend my 5 at the beginning of next scenario. So, okay, everybody, have a great day.